Hello, I think we might be live. Are we live? I think we are live. I think we are live. Let me just double check. Make sure we are live. Yes, I believe we're live. See if we can get some people in here. Just double check and make sure we are. So this is BeatStars Academy. This is Lee. We've got some people starting to come in. How's everyone doing today? Just myself today. We haven't got Mike today. So this is the BeatStars Academy show for you guys and girls that don't know what this show's about. We're going to take you through some of the features and functions of the BeatStars platform for anyone that's just starting out, or for people that are already members and want to learn some new stuff and new features that we might be showing on the platform. Just seeing some people coming in. What's up, everyone? Hope everyone's really well, doing well today. I hope your week has been good so far. Mine's been pretty good so far. Yeah, so I'll take you through the format for today. So we're going to spend 30 minutes going through the marketplace, just showing you some features on the marketplace. Then we're going to go through the pro page and show you some functions and features on the pro page. Then we're going to do, let me just check what else we're got going on here today. Then we are, yes, we're going to highlight maybe a special feature on the platform, or any new features that we may have that you guys might not be aware of. Then we're going to do 15 minutes of questions and answers. So if any of you have got any questions, make sure you send some questions my way so I can help answer them. And then towards the end, about half an hour towards the end, we're going to start reviewing some pro pages. Some people that have submitted some pro pages, we're going to review them and just give yourself some feedback of what we think about your pro pages. So hopefully that will give you some good insight and maybe help you to improve some of your pro pages. So let me know if you can see my screen, guys. Cool, good stuff. Right, so when you first sign up and you get to the main page, this is the first section that you'll come to, which is the main dashboard. There's a lot of information to take in on this dashboard. You've got your stats section at the top. These will be regular announcements from BeatStars ourselves, and you've got some of these other quick kind of features that you can access. All of these are customizable. You can move them around. If you highlight, you can hide them too. If you select this button here, customization, you can hide them. You can drag and drop them wherever you like. Just to show you an example, you need to do that the other way around. Ooh, maybe not. There we go. So as you can see there, you can move these around. It's a lot of good, really cool features. I use this personally myself quite a lot. Obviously, one of the most important parts of this main page is the dashboard. Sorry, the quick stats, which gives you an overall insight to your stats, which you can actually filter out. For today, for example, you can see that there's 114 plays today and so on, and all this information is really cool. If you want to head straight in to show all your stats, you can click that button up the top here, which will show all stats. which is also a really cool function. Now, something I want to point out here, which I believe me and Mike have pointed out before, but it's a really, really cool function. And it's the latest sales. This section here, which is a really, really cool function, which, to go into more detail to explain about this, if you hit this button here, that will directly open up your email app or provider that you have on your laptop or device, which will enable you to directly email a member from your, a client from your latest sale, which is really, really cool. So if you make a sale, you can like send them a discount code directly from here, from your email. There's so many different uses for that, which is really, really amazing. It's really, really cool to use that function, definitely. What else have we got in here? If you wanted to create a new track, you can create a new track directly from the main dashboard as well, which is really, really cool. And also there's usually some tutorial videos showing up at the bottom now. But again, you can hide some of these panels. So I would suggest you guys, you know, have a play around with this, see what stuff you feel you're going to be using the majority of. Yeah, whatever suits you best, I would suggest to just have a play around with that and see what benefits you. Let's go into the stats section and show you a bit more of that. So this is the main stats section where you will find all of your stats and data. Now, this is really, really helpful for many reasons. If you're, you know, using targeted ads for specific tracks or specific locations around the world, this kind of gives you an insight of who's listening to your tracks, which tracks are being listened to the most, times of days, weeks, etc. Countries, which is really, really cool. As you can see here, on my personal account, you can see the majority of my plays from this week have been from the United States, which is, you know, kind of gives me an idea that that's where the majority of my fans are, or the people that like my music. So it's really cool. This kind of, as I say, this kind of gives you a really, really good overview of what, like I say, who's listening to your content, which content's being listened to, and where. Also, it can tell you from what sources. So as you can see, the majority of my source comes from Marketplace and not Pro Page. Now, ideally, you would probably want to prefer to get the majority of your content to your Pro Page. The main reason behind that is because it's going to host all of your content. Not to say that having, you know, a ton of views or a ton of plays on your Marketplace is not beneficial, but you know, there's a ton of other producers on the platform, other artists and other creators that can see, you know, other creator stuff. So ideally, you want to have your top source to be Pro Page, but that's not a major concern. Yeah, so that's basically the stats. As you can see from the top, you've got all these different tabs that you can find. You know, you can find different stats for: likes, repost, follows, comments, replies, mentions, and free downloads, which a lot of you will probably find that really useful. I'll just go into that. I've not had any this week, but if I filter out the last 60 days, it will give you some stats, which is really, really cool. And you can also highlight over these and it will give you a specific number for that particular date, which is really, really good. And a lot of you ask this question. I see quite a lot of you ask this question: where can I see which tracks are being downloaded? And this is where you will find that information. So as you can see, over the past 60 days, 21 people have downloaded this track here called Focus. It's been downloaded by 93 guests. And there's some, this just means that these members actually have accounts if they've got a name next to them, which is good. You can also see again 95 users from United States have downloaded free content. So this information is really helpful to know who's downloading your content and which tracks are being downloaded. So it can help you, you know, if you want to target ads and stuff like that. So yeah, that's mainly the main dashboard. So you can see there's a lot of information there. And again, I would suggest to just play around with it and just, you know, figure out and see what's going on here. Just fill that back to today. So let's go into the use section. So this is where you will find a lot of your account settings, your messages, you know, your negotiations, anything that you've purchased within your account. You can also find a help section, which is something I wanted to point out today, which probably not a lot of people are aware of and use. So I won't click on this because it will take me to another page. But this help section is where we hold a lot of our help articles and some videos for tutorials that we've created, and it will explain to you. There's certain help articles in there that, you know, if you're trying to figure something out or you want some answers to, you know, some of our guys have spent a lot of time creating these articles. So I really suggest that you go in, especially for new users that may have some questions. Obviously, you can always reach out to us at support@beatstars.com and we can help you there. But there's a really lot of helpful information in there. So I would really suggest that you go and check this section out. And it's really cool. When you've got your spare time, just go and check it out. And just again, for new users, this is great for new users. There's a lot of helpful information in there. So let's go to the account settings. This has changed recently, so the format's changed on this really recently. So this is where you can update your subscription. You can change your plan. You can manage your payment methods, so on and so forth. This is where you will see your next renewal date, which is really, really cool. You can see when your subscription is due for renewal. What else we've got here? This is where you can enter and change your email address, which is associated with your account. If you want to change your password, as you can see, all of these different links here, stuff that you can change and edit, and this is your basic account information. So we'll go to the top. This is your profile information. So this will be where your display name is, your location, and your biography. So this is just like a bit about yourself, and I would suggest that you put some stuff in there, just to explain to people what you're about. As you can see here, I've got the smoothest R&B hip hop music producer / engineer, some credits that I've had, and a couple of hashtags that I've used. This is where you can also upload your profile picture, which is the picture that will show up here and on your main feed. Yeah, so that's the profile information section. There's another section that I want to highlight here too, which is your social media links. So this is where you will add all your social media links, and I'll show you where these pop up and populate in a second. So this has changed recently, I believe. You used to put your URLs in there, but now you just put your actual username, your account name. So we get a lot of questions where people are asking, how do I get my YouTube to populate on my pro page? And we'll talk about that in a second. But we've also added a couple of new cool ones, which is really cool, which I wanted to highlight today, which is TikTok and Twitch. Now, these have come really popular over the past few months. So this is really cool. And it kind of tells you what you need to enter in here too. So you can see that you have to put your actual nickname in there, as you can see there, and not the actual URL. So it's kind of highlighting that. And let me show you where they actually populate. So these will populate up here. So this will allow people to go directly to your social media accounts, which is really cool. People can see what you're up to. Let's go back to that. Yeah, so they've added TikTok and Twitch now, which is really, really cool. I think that's a really cool feature. I've not added mine yet, but we'll do. Another cool feature in this account settings, which I want to point out, is the discovery section. So this is powered by Spotify. So we've linked up with Spotify, and you can link all of your tracks that you've released with artists, or tracks that you've released yourself through distribution services. And you can populate these here, which is really cool, so people can see what tracks you've been involved with, and so on and so forth. These will also populate on your pro page too, which is really cool. Just seen a question coming in. Yes, Bafo, I will go through some questions at the end, but yes, you can. I'll show you how to do that if you want to download your own files that you've uploaded. Yeah, so this discovery section is really, really cool. I mean, it's not overly important, but it's kind of a cool way to show anyone that's visiting your account and your profile and your feeds some of the tracks that you've been involved with. So it's kind of it kind of adds to your biography and your you know, about yourself and the information about yourself. So that's really cool. Let's go back to the You section to just show you some other stuff in here. Something that we touched on, me and Mike touched on last week, was playlists. And this is where you can see all the playlists that you've created, and you can also create your playlists here. I mean, I've not done this personally myself, and I need to do more, but I would severely suggest that you create your own playlists. It's a really, really cool feature, and it's another way for people to find your content. It doesn't necessarily have to be your own content. You can add other bit. I mean, in my playlist particularly, I've just added all the beats that I'm really a fan of. But yeah, this is really, really cool. And you can change the images. You can do all sorts of stuff in here with regards to playlist. I would really severely, highly recommend doing that. You can also see which playlist you're following too, which is kind of cool. I don't think we've actually touched on this yet. Yeah, so that's the You section. For those of you that don't know about that, you can also get to your main feed from here too, which I showed you earlier. So let's see what else we can show you here. Yeah, so we've done the dashboard. We've gone through the stats. This is where you can get access to your sales and all your sales information. And for those that are asking also where you will get your free download emails for people that have downloaded your free content. And this is where you'll find it. So this will give you an overview of your sales. And you can see here, you've got all these sub-menus that you can highlight. This is where you will see your sales transactions. Most recent, you can also change this information. You can custom it, so you can go back, you can do a whole year if you wanted, and then load the report. What you can do the last month. You can change the sources, which is also really cool. So as you can see on the stats earlier, you can see where your sales are also coming from, which is kind of a handy tool to use. You can see if they're coming from the marketplace. Again, this kind of helps you when it comes to targeted ads and stuff like that. For those of you that use players and track widgets too, you can see those as well. You can also download this information, which is really, really cool. That could be, you know, if you're doing your books or your tax stuff, tax returns and stuff like that, for those that you do that. Now, this is the point I was saying earlier with regards to finding your free download emails, which a lot of you guys ask about. So this is where you'll find your customer information. So all your so you can actually go into the transactions here if you need to find some more information. So these are all the email addresses for your customers. Now this is where you will find your free download emails. So these are for all the people that have downloaded your free content when it decides to load. So these are all the emails that I've collected for my free downloads. If the person that's downloaded your free content has got a profile and has got an actual BeatStars account, you will see this button highlighted over here, profile. But for any of these that say guest, this means that they have downloaded your free content, but they're not a member. They haven't got an account with BeatStars. That doesn't necessarily mean that they are actually a physical guest. You've actually received their email. So you can use this information for, you know, all sorts of things, whatever you want to do, some email marketing and stuff like that. Yeah, which is really good. You can also download this information, which is really good. So it will give you a spreadsheet of all your emails that you've collected for your free downloads. And you can also see signups for that. So that will be for people that have signed up to your subscription. You can also see your top fans too, which is kind of the information that you will see on your stats. So I don't think a lot of people use this. Personally, I don't really use this myself, but this could be some handy information too. Some of your top fans, which is really, really good. I think this section is actually kind of quite overlooked, even though you can actually find that information on the stats page. I think it's kind of a cool to get a full overview of your stats here for top fans. You guys still hear me okay? Hopefully you can. Cool. Yeah, so let's try and hit up another section. I don't know how long we got left on this. Cool, that's cool. So this is your content section. So this is where you will find your tracks, track lists, albums, sound kits, services, your videos, and your photos, which I don't think many people use that. I have got a photo uploaded on there, but that's kind of cool if you want to upload some photos and let people see what you look like. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Videos too, if you want to upload your videos, this will be your YouTube videos, so you can upload any videos that you've uploaded to YouTube, and you can link them to a track that you've uploaded also. So if you wanted to do that, you would just click the plus button, grab the URL for the YouTube video, and then it would automatically enter the information, the metadata for that video, and you would just select upload video. You can associate it with a track too, and you can see which tracks you can associate it to. So it'll be the tracks that you've already uploaded to your account, and then it'll give you a preview, which is kind of cool too. You can also feature these, as you can see. I believe I may have featured one. These, once you do that, basically that means the video will feature on your page and on your pro page too, if you have your video section selected on your pro page, which I can show you in a second. It's kind of simple, really, really cool. So let's head into tracks. So this will be where you see all the tracks that you've uploaded. And this is where you can go back in and edit them and highlight, feature a track like I just showed you on the videos, which is a really cool feature. You can see your future releases, any drafts that you've created. Now, if you wanted to upload a new track, there's kind of a few ways that you could do this. This is how I personally do it because I only kind of upload one track at a time. But if you are uploading bulk tracks, this is a really, really cool way to do it, which would be through that section there, choose files. And I would suggest that you have a folder of all your files. Maybe name it BeatStars and then individually name your tracks. And then just have your stem files in there, your image for that specific track, your WAV file. And if you have an already tagged MP3 file that you wanted to upload, like a custom version of your track that's already tagged, I would suggest putting them in one file and then just drag them all in there. And that's a really, really useful way to do that. There's also a little highlighted section here, bit of text, which you can click on, and that will take you to a help article, which I was showing you earlier, or a video that will show you how to upload your content, which is really, really cool. So it'll give you a step-by-step process of how to do that, but we can do that too today too. So yeah, so the other way you can upload is by clicking this button here, which is kind of what I do because I like to have an overall view of what I'm doing. And most of this stuff is self-explanatory. The title of your track, you can see there, tells you how many characters you're allowed to use. Your tags, which is a really important part of your tag, make sure you're tagging your tracks properly. You need to put 3 tags in here. And as you can see, there is a maximum of 25 characters that you can use. Here's your URL, and this is your license information, and this is your free download option. So as you can see here, I've got it set for just to capture email only, but you can change that if you like, if you wanted to have it for social follow. So this will mean that anyone that downloads your free content will need to follow you on Twitter, SoundCloud, or BeatStars. You can highlight them all, but I would probably suggest maybe picking one. Just depends. I mean, if you want to get more traffic to Twitter, SoundCloud, or BeatStars, just depends on whatever suits you. But yeah, I would maybe suggest sticking to one. But my favorite is capture email. Now, I always used to use the BeatStars follow because I wanted to build up my BeatStars following. But recently I realized that actually having an email is more useful because with that email, you can actually promote all of your social accounts, including BeatStars, Twitter, SoundCloud, all of your social accounts. So having that email is more useful to you, I think personally, than having someone follow you on social media, because there's a lot of stuff you can do with that. You could promote I wouldn't suggest sending people emails every day, but maybe periodically, maybe once a month. If you've got if you're uploading 10 tracks a month, maybe at the end of the month, just highlight some of the new tracks that you've uploaded. Let people know that they're available for free download and stuff like that. Yeah, so there's plenty of stuff you can do with that. This is what I was talking about earlier, allowing people to anonymously download your free content. I wouldn't necessarily suggest doing that. It's an optional extra if that's something that you want to do. But I wouldn't suggest doing that. And then you can select if you want to have the track available for free download with a voice tag, or if you want it untagged. Again, this is entirely your choice, but personally myself, for many reasons, for branding purposes and just in general, protecting your content, I would suggest to make sure that you select with a voice tag. And again, if you don't want to have free downloads as your option, you can just click no. So I'll leave it as that with voice tag, which is kind of cool. So yeah, this is the track details. So this is where you would add your genres, subgenres, your moods. I would suggest entering as much of this information as possible. I see a lot of times some people just select the genres. I wouldn't say subgenres is not very important, but maybe having moods is really important. And there's kind of a lot of different ones. I mean, you can use these moods in your tagging as well. But I would suggest using this. I use this quite a lot, and I'll show you on the pro page and stuff why in a bit as to why this is kind of really important to use. Yeah. Also, make sure you're putting BPMs in. This is really important for many reasons, because a lot of people, visitors that come to the website looking for beats to purchase, a lot of the times they're searching by BPM, because they know for cadences and stuff like that, and for various other reasons, you know, they pick a specific BPM because they know that that's the kind of track that they're feeling, or the kind of track that they feel best suits their cadences and their flows and stuff like that. So it's kind of really important. I see a lot of the time that people don't put this information in there, and I think it's really, you know, for the sake of a couple of seconds, just putting the BPM in of the track. Now, something that I do quite a lot, and this will help you guys out too, is when you're bouncing out your projects and you're putting them in folders, like I said before, you know, you're bulk uploading your content, put the BPM on the folder. This is really cool because sometimes I do it myself. I make the mistake, I upload the content, and then I realize that I've forgotten what the BPM is. So then I have to go back into the project, open it up, and now I've got to find the BPM again. So just a cool little trick there, just to, you know, when you're especially when you're bulk uploading stuff too, just to name your folders, and I think there's a lot of people that do that already, but it's just a cool way of just reminding yourself of the BPM, just in case you forget. This is something else that's really cool as well, just to enter the description of the track. You know, you can just explain if it's like a smooth type track. Kind of, you can tag all this into the actual moods and the tags that you've entered, and just find cool ways of, you know, bringing your audience and just, yeah, just describing the track, stuff like that, you know. This is a really cool feature too, which is for collaborations. So if you're collaborating with another producer on BeatStars, they have to be a BeatStars. They have to have a BeatStars account for you to enable you to do this. Sorry, I'm getting my words mixed up. To enable you to do this. Yeah, so this is really cool. And there's a lot of different roles that you can add. So for argument's sake, you search, let me type in actually BeatStars. Let me collaborate with BeatStars today. It should show up. Yeah, so I can add BeatStars as a collaborator. I can choose what their role is. So let's say we add them as a distributor, and then we can pick the profit share. So this is obviously stuff you would have pre-negotiated with your collaborator. In most cases, it would be 50%. And publishing as well, you can pick that. And I believe you can add up to 5 collaborators. It can show you it there, how many collaborators you can add up per track. And that would need to add up to 100%. So you would figure that out between your collaborators. I don't think I've ever really seen any more than maybe 2 or 3 collaborators. I think 5 may be a bit too much, but you know, in some cases, you know, there may be 5 producers that's collaborated on one track. You never know. And this is the section, the related video section. So you can also add that here if you wish to. If you've already, I mean, this would be normally if you've already added the video, I believe, or you can just, oh no, you can add, yeah, you can add it straight from here too, which is kind of cool. So there's kind of a couple of different places on the platform that you can do things that takes you back and forth. So yeah, basically that's basically how you would upload your track. I've not got any files to upload, otherwise I would show you today, but you would get, let me just show you. I might have, so yeah, you can see over the past few days I've uploaded an image. So this is where your files would have been uploaded to. Once you've done that, you can then drag and drop the files into the designated places. As you can see, it won't let me drag those into there because it's not an image file. You can see that was, and it would automatically upload that into there for you. And then you would click Save Draft if you wanted to make some edits later, or you would publish. Something saying that, something I need to go back to here. Couple of little things I've missed out here with where the tag section is. This is general information. So in most cases for producers, you would be uploading a beat, but there are other options here. So if you was uploading a beat with a hook or a chorus, you've got the option to select that. Or if you was uploading a song, and you can also set a future release date, which I think is really cool. This would be more beneficial if you was uploading bulk content. Most of the time, if you're uploading content, you're probably most likely going to publish it straight away. But on some occasions, if I'm, I've got too much stuff going on, you guys probably got loads of stuff going on, you can set a future date and a future time, which is really, really cool. And by the way, this time is actually set to your actual physical location. So, so if you were setting it for 1800, sorry, which would be 6 p.m. my time, that would actually release on that time. So that's related to your actual time zone. And you can go as far forward as you want. You can actually change, you can go as far forward as 2036. I don't know why anyone would want to be, future uploading for that, far ahead, but you never know. And you also wouldn't want to go back either. Yeah, so that's really, really cool. So that's basically just an overall bit of information on how, you tracked data and how you would upload your tracks. So we've spent 30 minutes on the marketplace, I believe. So let's go over to a pro page. I'm going to show you my pro page today and just show you a few features and functions, and some of the stuff we've already touched on, the information that we've actually inputted onto the track data, track metadata. This is kind of just where you would see it on your pro page. So this is my pro page, and this is fully customizable for those of you that have got one, or for those of you that are thinking about getting a pro page subscription. This is what a pro page looks like, or what it can look like. So just to start off, so the first thing you would find here is your main background image, or as you can see, I've got like a cool kind of video going on. You don't necessarily need to have that, it's just something that I've chosen. Where we go back to where I was earlier, sorry, where we featured a track, this is where it would show up on your pro page. You have a cool little visualizer here. All this stuff is customizable. You can change the colors, you can do all sorts of things with that. And this is where your main tracks will show up. So this is what I was talking about earlier, about your BPM and stuff. So this is kind of where it will show up. So that's kind of really, really important. And this is all your tags too. And this is all your free download. So people want to free download your track, get your track for free. What else we got here? Some licensing info. So this is all the licensing info. Ooh. As you can see, I've highlighted one here. And from all these sections here, you can actually, if you see these edit buttons, this will take you back to where you can edit these. So if you are on your pro page and you notice that you've made a mistake on something on your licensing section, and you want to quickly go back to that to edit it, you can click that, and that will take you straight back to, it will take you directly to your licensing section on your main account on the marketplace. So you can go and edit that, quickly edit that stuff if you wish to do so, which is really cool. It's a really cool feature. As you can see here on my licensing section, you can see that I've highlighted a lot of, highlighted a lot of bullet points about what this license offers, or what it includes. And as you can see, as it goes along, it kind of gets a bit more, because there's more that comes with that specific license. I would severely suggest that you highlight these bullet points, just to make it a little bit easier for your clients and your potential customers, just so they can see. I mean, you can go into the, once you've added it into the cart, you can go and review the license and see everything that is included in that. But it's always really cool just to give them a brief overview of what is actually included in that license. So as you can see here, this is a license that I've highlighted. So this is Premium Plus Stems, gives you a price, tells you what files come with it, and then you can also see some of the bullet points and some of the highlights that comes with that license. So you can see that it's untagged up. I mean, you can go into as much detail as you want. I wouldn't maybe give too much detail, but I would just maybe give some of the main features and some of the main bullet points. The BeatStars screen froze on the track upload. Ah, okay. Sorry, my bad, guys. Let me sorry about that. Let me just figure out how I change that. I know what I need to do. Sorry, guys. Thanks for pointing that out, Buffo. Just bear with me, because I'm not used to doing this on my own just yet. So cool. Let me know if you guys can see that. Right, let me try again. Right, can you guys see that now? You are following the audio. Appreciate that. Right, we're on. I should have known that, because I've got a screen in front of me. I was just getting carried away. There we go, we got it. Cool stuff. Apologies, guys. I was rambling on there, and you couldn't even see what I was showing you. Right, so this is the pro page for you guys that have not seen one before. And this is my personal one. Hopefully you can see it now. I believe you can. Yes, you can. Good stuff. So yeah, so this is basically what a pro page will look like. I won't go all over what I've said again. We can go over it another time. But this is basically an overview of what a pro page can look like. Just to pick up on a couple of points I mentioned earlier, this is where you will see your BPMs and all your tags, which is the stuff we said was really important to make sure you include. And I'll kind of show you why in a second, why that's kind of really important when people search. So going back to this license section, which I think is where I kind of was, and then Buffo made me aware that I wasn't actually sharing my screen. So this is where the licensing information is, and this is where all your bullet points were. So just to go over what I was saying, as I said, I've highlighted this one in particular, but this is kind of really important to show this information. I've seen it a couple of times, and just like, just randomly visiting other people's pro pages, just doing some research, and I've seen it on kind of a few occasions where people they've not put any information in here. Now, the reason why that's really important is because it kind of gives the customer and your client an overview of what that license includes, it's really important to give that information for many reasons. Just to make it easier for your clients to know what they're actually purchasing and what comes with that specific license. So just to give you an example here of one that I have and one that I've highlighted. As you can see here, I've mentioned that the files come untagged and that it's an instantly downloadable MP3 and high quality WAV format. Now you don't have to go into too much detail, but I would provide as much detail as possible. Again, just to make it easier for your clients. They can see here that they are able to license and sell, distribute up to 8,000 copies. 700,000 audio streams for Spotify, Apple Music, and so on. I've also offering a free mixing and mastering services. You know, you guys don't necessarily have to do that. This is also where it will show you some of the bulk discounts that you are offering. Yeah, so basically this is where people will see your licensing information. We've not gone over how to set those up today, but we can do that on another time. These shows are 2 hours long, so we can't fit all of the information in on one show, but each week we're going to be going over different sections and showing you how to do certain things. For those of you that use the merchandise integration, this is where it will show up on your pro page, which is really cool. Again, as I was saying earlier, if you wanted to go back and if you noticed that you had made a mistake here within your licensing section, or you wanted to highlight a different license, you wanted to change some of the bullet points, you noticed there was some sort of typo error or something, you can select this edit button and that will take you straight back to the licensing section within your account. And that's really, really cool. It's kind of a quick way to update stuff quickly and then head back to your pro page. You can see it update straight away, which is really, really good. Yes, so there's so much stuff you can do on this pro page. I would suggest to make sure that you have your licensing section set up. Obviously, merchandise and sound kits and stuff like that is not necessary, but you know, it's kind of cool to offer a few different features and different services and stuff like that. Again, we can go over these on other shows and show you how to add specific. I believe we might be having other shows every other week. I think we're still to discuss that, but I think every kind of other week we're going to be going over specific sections of certain sections within Pro Page and Marketplace, and where you guys might have specific questions about specific things and how to do certain things. This is where your YouTube section will populate, which is obviously really cool if you want to show off your YouTube. Gives you your subscribers and your view count, etc., and so on. People can also subscribe to your YouTube directly from here. Yeah, so this is basically an overview of your pro page. Just a couple of other things I want to point out, because few of you may be noticing this little icon that's appeared over here. This is your Facebook Messenger integration. So this is where people can contact you. There's kind of a few ways of how people can contact you for your pro page. Now this is your page. So this is where all your content is held. So this is most of the time where you want your customers and clients to come to, because this is where all your content is being held, all your tracks, etc., and so on. So yeah, this just going back to this messenger bot or messenger feature. So this is where people can hit you up from. Now you can see I've got this. I changed this recently. I believe before I had just please hit me up if you need assistance. I've been trying to find creative ways to link up with my customers and try and get you know, some sort of conversation going with them. So I've recently changed this. Now I'm not saying that you have to do this, but this is kind of a cool way to try and get some more engagement. And again, you know, building those conversations up with some of your clients or potential clients that might not be a client yet, but could potentially be a client just because they've hit you up here. So I've selected here, I've got in here, hey, you want 5 free beats and a discount code. So I'm offering quite a bit here. That's kind of quite a bit. So I'm offering them 5 free beats and then a discount code. So hopefully that will kind of start a conversation with people. And that's a really, really cool way. And then once you've got them in your DMs and you've got stuff like that, it's then up to you how you, you know, build that conversation with them. Obviously, you're not going to want to be, you know, offering them a beat straight away, or sorry, a sale. You're not going to want to shove a sale in their face straight away. But it's kind of a cool way to, again, build that conversation with someone, build up those conversations with people. So that's one way people can contact you through the Pro page. This is also another way, you know, if people have got any issues or they've got any questions, or they have any questions about your licenses or your tracks, or they, you know, they want to inquire about some pricing, anything like that. This is another cool way for people to contact you, which is really good. You can also change the color of this. We can go over this again in some future shows of how you can change the branding. You can change the color of that. I would suggest maybe to try and keep that with your branding. I've seen a few times I've headed on people's pages and it's a completely different color. Probably don't realize that they can actually change the color. And the other form of contact for your clients is through this contact form here. So yes, so they can contact you through here, so they can send you a message, which is really cool. I've not personally received a lot of messages through these. I think since the Facebook Messenger function has been available, I think people see that more often. I think mostly because this is at the bottom of the page. Most of the time, you know, I mean, you can move that if you want to. You can move that up to the top. I wouldn't necessarily suggest doing that. But again, you know, this is another way people can contact you on a Pro page. So we offer a lot of ways for people to contact you, which is really, really good. What else have we got on here? Yeah, so let's take you through a couple of the customization. This is where, now for you guys that wanted to customize your Pro page, you would need to make sure you were logged into your account. Now to do that, we're already logged in here, but you would basically see a login button up here. As I say, you can see I'm already logged in, but you would, in fact, let me just log out just to show you what you would see. So you would see a login button appear up here. I've seen it a couple of times where people have reached out and say, I can't change this, or I can't do that, I can't edit my Pro page. This is the reason why, because you're not logged in. I thought I had this saved in here, but I haven't. Oh, here we go. Here we go. That's us log back in. Just seeing a couple of questions. I'll go through some of the questions at the end. We're going to have 15 minutes to go through some questions. Yeah, so hold fire on your questions for a bit, just to save me scrolling back through the questions. But I'll let you guys know when I'm going to be doing some of the questions, and I can answer them for you. But again, if you have any specific questions after this show, you can email us at support@beatstars.com, and you can also actually use that help section, which I pointed out to you earlier. There's a lot of helpful information in there for some of you that might have some questions. Yeah, so where was we? So yeah, so we logged into the Pro page. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed maybe over the past couple of months, for those of you that do have Pro page already, and for those of you that don't, obviously now you can see, we now have these options here. I'm not sure we've touched on this before. Now, previously you would just have this button here, and that would take you to the main customization menu, where it's got all different sections that you can customize, which we'll go through a couple in a second. But now, as you noticed, when you highlight over a certain part of your page, you can see these little sub-menus come up. Now, what that is, that kind of allows you to, it's a sub-menu. So that basically takes you directly to that part that you've highlighted. So just to show you an example, so headline text here. So if I click on that, as you can see, that takes you straight to that section that you can edit, which is really, really cool. So for those of you that may be getting confused and you're not sure when you're scrolling through the full main, the full customization menu, which part you're actually customizing, this kind of takes that out of the equation a little bit. Obviously, you still have the option to, go through the main customization menu, but this is kind of really helpful for those that, may be kind of struggling to understand which, part of the customization menu that you are actually customizing. So this is really cool. I think this was an update that we released a few months back, and I don't think it's been highlighted yet. Some of you may have already come across this and just noticed it by yourselves. But yeah, this edit feature is really, really cool. And as you can see, I've highlighted that specific section. And this is the homepage main text and buttons. And this is basically where you would, just an example, I'll just put some random text in there. So this is the headline section. So this is where you've added some random text in there. Obviously, I'm not going to leave that in there. And this is also where you can add shortcut buttons and also a search bar, which we now enable to be removed. So I've got it selected as none, as you can see. But if you wanted a search bar there, you can have a search bar there. If you wanted to have some shortcut buttons, if you wanted to direct people to a specific part of your page. For argument's sake, if you, had a lot of sound kits and you wanted to direct people straight away from your main page to your sound kits, you could do that here. So to do that, you would select it here, I believe. Beat packs. Let me go to sound kits. And as you can see, that's automatically changed. And it's just really cool. Sometimes people might not necessarily want to use that because they've got an image there that's, kind of maybe covering that image up. But if you had an image over to the side, or you just had some different kind of artwork, unlike mine, mine's quite intrusive. That kind of doesn't really work for my page. But again, these are just all options, optional extras if you wanted to use those, just to allow you guys a little bit of freedom to do what you want and direct people in certain places. So I'll change that to none for now, which is kind of cool. You can change the text color and stuff like that too. Now, when you are in these sub-menus, just to point out too, now you can come out of it if you wanted to, just up here and then head to another section. And again, it will highlight which specific section that you can change and edit. But again, let's just go back into that customizing. Let me just go back into that top one again, just to show you. Back into the headline text. So if you wanted to go back to the main customization options menu, you can just click this button up here, and then that will take you to where you can edit the whole of the pro page if you want to. So that's kind of cool. Gives you a kind of quick function and quick kind of direction to get to the place where you want to go. Let's see what else we can point out here. So yeah, let's go to these menu buttons here, menu options here. You can move these around, you can change them, you can rename them, you can disable them, you can enable them. So if you've got you know, a page with a section with just your videos on, you can enable that, and I'll show you quickly how you can do that. So you would go into menu links, and this is where you can enable and disable them. You would basically just click on the section that you are wanting to disable or enable. You'll notice straight away that that will disappear, as you can see there. So my bio's disappeared. And these are all the options that you can do. You can remove the contact form if you don't want that there. If you guys are using blogs, guys and girls are using blogs, you can bring that section available there. Services and all this kind of stuff. And you can also, as I say, this is just for the menu links, but you can move these around. So say, for argument's sake, I wanted to have sound kits at the forefront. Now you can see that sound kits is the first menu that pops up, which is kind of really cool. Can't remember where I had that now. There we go. Sound kit. So yeah, you can move these around. So it's a lot of really cool ways you can, things that you can do and things that you can edit. You can also do, move these around too. So you can also move this, the beat player and the main section where all your tracks are held, that is fixed. But all of these licensing sections, the merchandise, the sound kits part of your page, the services, all of these can be moved around to where you want them, really. I would maybe suggest always having your license part of your page next to your tracks. I would always suggest to have that there, just because that's kind of related to the tracks a little bit more. And you know, your clients and stuff haven't got too far to go to find the pricing and stuff like that. I mean, obviously they can click on the pricing tabs here and they can see previews of the licenses, but I would just suggest to maybe have that underneath. But all these other sections you can move around. Let me just show you that. So you'll find that in the homepage sections. So you click on that again, just like the menu links, you can disable and enable certain parts of your page. So there's kind of quite a lot of menus you can have here. Yeah, so there's quite a lot of menus you can have here. That's the mailing list, the YouTube section. We get a lot of people reach out quite often, wondering how to highlight that section on their page, or just, you know, to display it. This is where you will do that. You should notice that should disappear, yeah, as you can see that. So you can see it's very, very instant. So it's very, very quick to edit this kind of stuff, which is really cool. We've made it very easy for you guys to edit, and very quickly. And again, as I mentioned earlier, you know, you can move these around. Let me just try that. You can see. So there, you can see that now my videos has appeared. My YouTube section has appeared straight at the top. Again, I wouldn't suggest doing that. It's entirely up to you. It depends on, you know, how you want to edit and how you want people to see your content. But again, I wouldn't suggest leaving that. I would make sure that your licensing section is at the top. Yep, that's gone back. Cool. Yeah, so that's really, really cool. Also, if you are, let's just come out of that for a second. You see this big yellow band at the bottom here, and this plus sign. Probably a lot of you guys thinking, what's that? So that kind of is kind of the same as this homepage sections, where you can add enable and disable these. You can also do that here too. Let me just come out in a second. So if you click on that, that kind of takes you to that page again. So we kind of make it really easy for you to, you know, find these sections and figure out where to add and disable things and where to move stuff, and just trying to make your editing process, you know, as easy as possible. yeah, so that's really, really good. What else can we show you here with this? So all of these colors and stuff you can change. You can see I've got this at purple at the moment. You know, there's a lot of different layout colors that you can change. And as you can see, that could be kind of quite confusing as to actually what part. I mean, I know it's, you know, we've worded it and we're kind of telling you what section you are changing here, but, you know, color wise, but, you know, having that highlighted section here, you can see that that's kind of taking you directly to that color. So, you know, that kind of helps you. You can also in some of these sections you can actually put image or a color. I believe you can do that for video section, services, sound kits, and merchandise, I believe. Let me just double check that. Yeah, so certain sections on your page you can actually add an image on, which is kind of cool. How are we doing for time? Just want to make sure that I'm covering as much as I can in the time that we've got here. Let me just... Right, so let's try and highlight maybe a special feature. Let me think kind of what special feature. Let me go back to the main platform and give you a brief overview of a special feature that I feel is kind of really cool and probably some of you guys are aware of already. So as you noticed recently, we've been doing a lot of live streaming. Oh, you can see it. That's cool. I'm figuring this out now slowly. You can see we're now back to the main BeatStars page. Yeah, so as you noticed, we've been doing a lot of live streams recently, and some of these live streams, we've been offering some features and, you know, like playlisting, like Buy My Beat Friday and stuff like that. You can find some of these opportunities in the opportunity section. This is being updated quite often, I believe. So let's just head to that section now. So to get to that, you'll go to My Media and Opportunities. Now, as you can see here, we've got 3 opportunities available at the moment. So this is Buy My Beat Friday, which is hosted by Abe. So this is where he goes for a playlist of submissions that people have submitted here for beats that he potentially wants to buy, which is really, really cool. So any of you guys that want to potentially have one of your beats purchased by Abe directly, this is where you can submit. You can also, this is the Jam with Jamil. So this is for live every Friday. So this is to submit tracks to have played live with Jamil on Fridays. I believe he's kind of subject and kind of what he's looking for changes each week. We'll just go into one of them just to give you a bit more details. So yes, you can submit tracks for this here. It gives you a start date, so it tells you when the submission starts. So that was for the 15th, starts on, and then it ends on the 22nd. So this is the time frame that you've got to submit, and it gives you a bit of an overview of what the show's about, or what this opportunity is about. And this is how you would submit your tracks. So these will be tracks that you've already got on your account, and then you would just select the tracks that you want to submit, and then Jamil will go through the tracks and pick which ones he wants to add to his playlists, which is really cool. So yeah, so we're going to be updating this quite regularly. There's going to be some different stuff going on. So I suggest you guys check this out and keep a good eye on what's going on, and some submission opportunities. Yeah, so that's really cool. That's kind of a really cool feature. let's see what else. That was kind of a quick overview of that. Let's see what else we can. I'll tell you what. Let's go to marketing integrations, because there's a lot of really cool cool features that we can highlight here. So this is where you can integrate some of these third-party marketing integrations. Some of these will have a small fee, maybe a monthly subscription fee, but there are a lot of these as well that are free. Like MailChimp is free to sign up for, I think, for a specific amount of emails that you receive. Aweber, I'm not sure. I don't use Aweber, but I believe that's probably very similar to MailChimp. For those of you that are aware of Fan Connect, this is where you can check that out. Now, I believe maybe, again, you know, some of these BeatStars Academy shows that we're going to be doing, we'll go over specific, you know, we'll spend a bit more time on each of these sections and just, you know, go through the whole process of how to set stuff up, so on and so forth for specific things. I don't think that's been set in stone yet, but I think that's something that's coming in the future, so that will help you guys. So stay tuned for that one. Now, the one I wanted to highlight was Printful. Now, because some of you guys probably saw that I had some merchandise on my pro page, and this is how you can integrate that. So this is a really, really cool feature. It's probably one of my favorite marketing, other than MailChimp, for me personally. You know, this is really good for collecting emails for sales, free downloads, and so on and so forth, people subscribing. But Printful, for some reason, when this one came out, I was kind of really excited about it, and I think a lot of people was really excited about it too. You know, because this is another way for you to promote your brand by, you know, having a specific brand on your own merchandise and stuff like that, which is really, really cool. And yeah, I really like this feature. So you can integrate this with your pro page, your account. And as you can see here, I've got a few products that I've already created, and it's really straightforward. They take you through the process at Printful of how to set stuff up. So if you've already got logos and you've already got your own branding, most of you guys that you know, already have accounts and stuff, you know, with BeatStars, you're going to have kind of this stuff already set up. And, you know, you can just use those original logos that you've got to set this stuff up, and it's really, really quickly. They have all of their own models that you can use for these images. None of these are not images that I've created myself. These are images that are available on the platform. Yeah, so this is really cool. And there's so many different products you can have. So I suggest you guys check this out. For those of you that have got the pro page subscription, which is another good reason why to have that subscription, for all of these kind of features that are, you know, become available to you just by having that pro page subscription. This is really cool. Again, you know, like on majority of the places on our platform, like tracks, sound kits, and, you know, all these other features that are available, you can actually feature specific products or specific tracks and stuff like that. So you can see I've highlighted it, and that I think you may have noticed that these were the parts of my merchandise that actually appeared on my pro page on the main page, which is really, really cool. You can set up the pricing yourself, and another good thing about this as well is it doesn't cost you anything to set it up. You're not paying for the distribution and stuff. You basically set it all up. You set the pricing. People buy your products. It's all automated. Someone purchases one of your, for argument's sake, someone purchases a t-shirt. They pay $25 for it, and then that automatically gets sent out to them. Depending on Printful's prices at the time, you know, you may make a bit of profit on it, which is really, really cool. You know, as I say, you can set up your pricing structure to suit that. But yeah, so for any of you guys that do have pro page subscription and want to add this to your pro page and have this feature available to your clients and want to sell some branded merchandise. I really suggest that you check this out. It's really cool. You can get some brief information here. And as I say, it's really, really straightforward. I think when it came out, it took me about 10 to 15 minutes to get, you know, 10, I think there was like 8 products there. Again, you know, it tells you, gives you a brief overview. So I suggest you guys, I'm kind of, you know, skipping over most of this, but suggest you guys go in and read this, definitely for sure. This is kind of the section where you will sync your products and stuff like that. Now, I believe on the main page somewhere, yes, so here, this is what I wanted to point out. So for those of you that are maybe thinking about doing this or have done it already and maybe, you know, having some issues, we have created, one of our team members, I think it was actually one of the guys on the customer support team, created a video on how to set up your Printful account. So this link here will actually take you to a video, tutorial video on how to set it up. So we've made it really easy for you to do that. It's a step-by-step process on how to do that. So that's really, really cool. Can someone in the chat tell me if they can still hear me or not? Hopefully you can. Good stuff. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. Good stuff. Yeah, just bear with me today, guys. This is kind of this is the first time I'm doing it on my own. So if it's kind of a bit all over the shop, you know, I'm doing the best I can here to try and help you guys out, and hopefully, you know, over the upcoming weeks, I will get better at this, and you know, you guys will hopefully take some good information away from here, and hopefully, you know, I've pointed out some things that you might not be aware of, yeah, and just giving you guys some useful information. You know, the platform, there's so much that goes on in the platform, and we're always updating stuff. So to try and go over, you know, stuff within the 2 hours, it's kind of a little bit difficult to go over it in 2 hours. But as I said, you know, hopefully we're going to have some shows where we can go over specific, you know, features, like I have with a couple of things today. With the opportunities tab, with Printful, you know, we can maybe even go through some of these processes, you know, and actually, you know, maybe open a test account and take you through these processes from start to finish. We do have tutorial videos, like I say, on a lot of the stuff that we have on the platform to take you step by step, you know, through the processes to get up and running. But also it's cool as well, you know, it's cool for us to kind of show these things directly. But again, most of you guys probably, you know, play around with the platform, like, you know, like this dashboard section, for argument's sake, like I was touched on when we first joined here. You know, all this stuff is stuff that you can, it's kind of straightforward, and you can most likely figure out a lot of this stuff yourself. But we're here to try and, you know, maybe point you into some direction, or point out things that you might not be aware of, and just to try and help you guys along the way, and just get you up and running, get you started. Even for those people that have, you know, been with BeatStars for, you know, for a good time, for a good period of time, you know, there's maybe some good points in here that we can pick up that, you know, you guys might not be aware of, guys and girls might not be aware of. So in a couple of minutes or so, I'm going to go through some pro page review. So I'm going to grab some links to pro pages, some of the pro pages that you guys have submitted, and I will show you just before the end of the show how you can submit those, maybe for next week's show or the week after. Yeah, so I'm going to try and get through as many as I can, and just give you my personal opinion on just like how your pro page is set up. Some of the points that I pointed out earlier, you know, like your licensing information, your BPMs, and stuff like that. Just some of the information that, you know, we feel is really important to have on your page, and maybe just give you some feedback and some positive feedback on ways we think that you could maybe benefit from our feedback. You know, just even if it's just down to some, you know, little bit of branding or some coloring, or, you know, some colors, or just what we personally feel. Again, you know, this is not gospel. This is not stuff that you necessarily need to go away and change instantly. This is just our personal opinion, and just from experience and what we've seen within the community, what we feel tends to work best. And that's kind of what this show is all about. So let's bring up let me grab, gonna rely on you guys to let me know if you can actually see these pages. So the first one we've got up today is called Bed on Music. So I think that's how you pronounce it. But guys, if I'm saying his name's wrong and you guys are in the room, just you know, point it out to me. Let me grab that one. So this is cool. So this is I think it's Bedoni Music. It's pro page. So firstly, I kind of really like the colors. It's very eye grabbing, like you saw from my personal page. You could see that, you know, I had the purples and I had the video. I really like your coloring here. I really like that green stands out. It's really kind of the first thing I was like, oh, you know, it's kind of bright, kind of gets my attention. Yeah, I really like this a lot. You've got some cool logos there. You've featured a track, which is really good. You've also figured out that you can move the search bar, which is really good, and it's kind of out of the way of the main image, which is good. I wouldn't necessarily say that that's necessary to have that there, because you also have that there too. But yeah, maybe try it. Maybe try and, you know, maybe remove it for a while and just see if that has any effect. But it's kind of cool that you've moved it out of the way of the image, but I like that. It's really good. But yeah, the first thing I just want to point out again, the first thing I really like is that coloring. I can see that you've got your BPMs there, so thumbs up to that. You've got all your tags. The text is really easy to read. You've got all your tracks set up for download, so that's a good +2 there. You've got your pricing structure set up there. You've got your licensing info straight underneath that. So I like this. And you've got, like mine, you've got plenty of information there. Let's just read through some of this information. Track stems included. Distribution limit. Yeah, you've got some really good information now. I really like that. And you've also highlighted and you've put that in the middle, which I really like. I also like what you've done here too, with your make an offer on your exclusive license, which is something that we've not touched on today, but I would definitely suggest to make your exclusive licenses as make offer only. Again, we can touch on that in another session, and I can show you how to do that. But also see that you've put beat taken down, which is good. People like to know that. That's a really important thing for a lot of customers, especially when they're buying exclusive licenses, and you've highlighted that to them. I really like that. You've got some bulk deals here. You've got a buy one, get one free, which is good. I would maybe, personally, this is just my personal opinion, maybe suggest having a few more bulk deals available, maybe 2 or 3 more. I wouldn't suggest, you know, like having 10. not having too many, but I think just giving your clients a bit more, it kind of drags them a little bit more. Just gives them, okay, he's got a few bulk deals. So like maybe just for argument's sake, you've got a buy one, get one free here. Maybe just have one buy two, get two free. That might kind of entice them into purchasing more. It's just food for thought there. Kind of like, yep, you've got your servicing mix. I would maybe change that text. I know you can see from the image. I kind of like that you've done that you've kind of, people can see straight away from an image that this is kind of some sort of mixing or mastering service. But I would maybe change that text and maybe put mixing services, just to highlight that a little bit more, just so people know what they're getting. You've got your subscribe to mailing list there, yeah. One thing I would say, which are kind of, I see that you've got missing from here, is your Facebook Messenger. I would really suggest adding that to your account. And again, we can go over in these sessions on how to add that Messenger availability, that function. But I would definitely suggest to do that. I know you have this is your mailing list, but you haven't got a contact form here. I know you've got it up here, so people can obviously click on that and get to your contact form. But I would suggest having the Facebook Messenger there. It's a really, really cool feature. I personally use it myself a lot, and I've had some good results for it too. Bed on music. I would suggest putting that there, definitely, for sure. It is a fairly new feature too. Yeah, it's really easy to set up, so I would definitely suggest doing that. Definitely. But yeah, overall, I really like this. Again, the colors stood out to me, and I like that. The way you've done this is it's very kind of enticing. People can see straight away that it's a music page, and it's really, 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 really cool. You've highlighted tracks and stuff like that too. Yeah, I really like this. So good work, good job. Just a couple of things to point out there, just to reiterate, maybe change that text and then add that Facebook Messenger. And that's about it, really. I really like that. It's cool. Right, let's grab another one. Who's up next? So guys, if you're in the chat, let me know, so I can kind of highlight these my points to you. So the next one up is Reberg. So hopefully Reberg is in the chat. Let me just grab that link. Wait till this loads up. Hopefully you guys can see this. Yes, so this is Reberg's page. See straight away he's got the Messenger, the Facebook Messenger chat that's come up there, which is really good. I like that. That's the first thing I pointed out. Now, I do really like this dark kind of theme here, but there's nothing that really tells me that this is Reberg. Branding wise, I would suggest to maybe kind of, if you have one. Yeah, thanks, Buffo. Yeah, if you're in the chat, let yourself be known. I don't know what you guys think here, but I think there's some kind of branding missing here. I wouldn't really necessarily know that this was Reberg, apart from seeing the logo or the name up here. Yeah, I would maybe suggest have some kind of logo if you haven't got one. you know, there's a lot of people out there. You know, we have designers on our website, on our platform that you can reach out to that offer designing services. You know, really reasonable prices. I would definitely suggest, you know, having some form of logo or some kind of banner or something there, just so people know that it's you. Yeah, that's just kind of my initial thoughts there. You have your BPM again, which is what we always like to see, and your tags as well. You've got some of your tracks available for free download, which is good. You've got a featured track, which is really good too. What else have we got here? Okay, so you've got your licensing. You've got some good information there, which is good. I would maybe, I mean, it's not a necessity, but I would maybe have a few more licenses available. You're also not offering exclusives here, so you know that's kind of maybe you know, potentially you could potentially losing some clients because they're not able to purchase an exclusive license, or they're not aware that they can. It may be something that you're already offering, but it's not shown here. Your pricing structures, it's kind of a big jump, but you know, it's not too bad. Yeah, I would maybe add, I mean, as you can see from Bedany's music page and myself, and pro page, you could see that you know, there was about 5 or 6 licensing options there. It just gives the client more options, you know, if they wanted specific options, you know, because I don't think I can see here that you've actually got one that states it offers stems. So yeah, so it you know, even if any of these, an unlimited license would usually offer stems, so that's kind of something you may want to look into there. But yeah, just to reiterate, I would maybe have a few more licensing options, but again, that's just from personal choice and just from experience. You have, that's really good. This was something that Mike touched on, I believe, last week, and we've touched on a couple of times about setting up albums and offering albums for a set price. So you can see that he's got 10 beats available here. It's kind of cool that you've noted the discount that they're getting in on the actual image, which is kind of good. I kind of like that. You have your YouTube section available there, and then you've got your contact form. Yeah, so I would maybe, firstly, maybe have something, you know, for branding wise, just so people know that it's actually Reberg and it's yourself. Just so people know that it's you. I believe this is one of our kind of stock templates, and you know, you guys, I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but if you go to the pro page section on your account, there is a tab that says layouts, and there's these pre-made layouts that you can actually purchase, and I think on average they go around for about $40, and these are artists and designers that will actually design your pro pages for you. So you know, if you're not too, you know, involved with designing and stuff like that, you know, there's people on the platform that can offer these services to you. So I would suggest definitely check that out, because you know, it can help you in those sense, especially if you're not very design kind of minded, or you know, you're not very good with like editing software and stuff like that, kind of like myself. I've kind of you know, picked it up as I've gone along. But yeah, so that's kind of my review on that one. Let's find a different one. Let's find another one. Who's up next? So we've got the man up next. We've got Buffo. Let's review your page, Buffo. Let's review Buffo's page. Oh. Okay, so we can see on Buffo's page, he's got his logo, which is kind of good. It's kind of going back to what I said earlier about having a logo there. The only thing I would say, Buffo, because you've got this featured track here, is you can't really see that text behind. You probably want to, you know, highlight some of your social media accounts there, but I would maybe, it's kind of inflicting with the featured track, and you can't kind of see that text very well. So I mean, the image is really cool, and it definitely kind of suits your branding, but I would maybe suggest removing that text from it if you're available, if you know, if that's possible to do so. I would definitely suggest maybe doing that. That's kind of the first thing that's kind of come to mind here. You've got your feature track there, which is really cool. I see that you haven't got many menus available up here. I would maybe think about, oh, hold on. We've gone back. Here we go. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I would suggest, Buffo, just to remove that text, if you can, or redesign it if you can. Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's not a necessity. Again, not a necessity, but I would maybe think about having a few more, even if it's just like your bio, and you know, if you're offering services and stuff. I'm not sure. We'll scroll down and see if you're offering services, sound kits and stuff. But yeah, I would just maybe have a few more options. If you don't have sound kits and you don't have, you know, services, you're not offering services, I would, you know, maybe just have your bio, just some basic information about yourself and what you're about and stuff like that. We can see that you've got your BPMs highlighted there, which is good. Yep, you've got your free downloads, you've got your BPMs, which is good too. Really good. I would maybe think about changing that visualizer as well, maybe just to go a bit more with your branding. I don't know what, with these visualizers, for you guys who are not aware, you get two colors. So you get one color, which is your main color, and then you get a color as you play the track, it kind of scrolls across the screen. So you can edit both of those. I would maybe change that to purple if that's kind of your color there, just to fit in with the theme. Oh, Buffo. I would, so licensing info, I believe we touched on this earlier. I think you need to, again, this is just, you know, just opinions. You need to, we feel you would need to provide a bit more information here with regards to what these licenses offer. Again, this is just giving your customers and clients a bit more clarity. Bare bones, yeah. The thing is, it's very easy to add that information. So, you know, and you've got all the information within your account already, you know, what you've set your licenses up, you know, how many streams you're offering, what kind of files comes with the licenses, you know, just some of the main bullet points. I would definitely suggest to have those, definitely for sure. It's a feature that's there, so I would definitely suggest using it, definitely 100%. Because here you've got some merchandise, which is good. Kind of looks really good with your branding. I hope that you've actually purchased some of these and you're wearing them. So yeah, I'm not sure if, oh, so right, okay, that's a video. Yeah, that's good. Can see that. I can also see that you're not using Facebook Messenger too, so I would definitely suggest you use that, definitely for sure. I would definitely make sure you have that. again, you know, it's not a necessity, but all of these tools are here to help you and to benefit you and to try and, you know, help you succeed, and just give you these extra little, you know, little tools, and just give you that extra little edge to enable you to have better results, you know. And all of these features that we've enabled and given to you guys to use, we suggest you use as many of them as you can, definitely, for sure. And that Facebook, I know I keep saying it, but that Facebook one is a really, really good one, just from personal experience as well. And I think, you know, a lot of people that you speak to through the community that use that will probably say the same, definitely, for sure. But yeah, I mean, I really like your logo, Buffo. There's a couple of points I'm sure you're probably fully aware of the things that you may need to change. But yeah, I mean, this just remember, guys, this pro page this gives people an idea of who you are and what you're about. So try to make it look as professional as possible. This is kind of like your storefront, right? So this is kind of what your store would look like, you know, if you think of it as a physical store walking into something. This is what this would look like from the outside. So just make sure that, you know, it kind of looks as professional as you can get it, even if it has to be kind of fairly basic. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be all, you know, sprinkles and diamonds and all that kind of stuff, but just try to make it look as professional as you can. Now, sometimes, you know yourself, music producers, you know, sometimes the most simplest stuff is the stuff that gets the most attention. So, and just looks a bit more professional, you know. So, yeah, just remember, guys, this is your storefront. So this is the first thing that people see when they head to your page. It's kind of like when you think of it as a track too, you know, it's kind of like the first 5 seconds that people hear. You know, that's why those kind of 5 seconds and those 10 seconds or whatever it is, you know, related to a track or just someone coming to your page is really important, because that's the first thing that people are going to see or hear. So, yeah, so that's cool. So hopefully you've picked up some pointers there, Buffo, hopefully. How long we got left? We've got 10 minutes left. We've got another show after this today, but I'll let you know what the show is next. Who's up next? We have got Hi Kaiman. So if you're in the chat, hi Kaiman, make yourself known. Go. Right, so unfortunately this isn't a pro page link, so unfortunately we're not going to be able to review this one. So guys, anyone that wants to submit their pro pages, you need to submit your actual pro page link, and I will give you the link. In fact, let me just put that in here now. Those of you that want to submit your pro pages for review, you guys can go to beatstars.world, but I'll give you the actual link. Mondays. Hopefully, guys, you see that? Yep, so that's the link you can go to submit your pro pages for future. So next up, we have Lima on the track. Are you in here, Lima? Let us know if you're in here. Okay, so we're on Lima's pro page here. Cool, so Hopefully you guys can see this. Yep, I can see it. Yeah, again, I wouldn't really know this was Lima on the Tracks Pro page. I mean, obviously I don't know your branding, but I would maybe kind of have some kind of logo that relates to, again, like we mentioned on the previous page, just so people know it's you. You know, again, this is just personal opinions on stuff, but yeah, I would suggest maybe having a logo there, or some kind of image that makes it look like it's you. Also, I can see that your logo is very small here. I can't really see your logo, because that's another thing too. Can't see that is Lima on the track. What else we got here? Yeah, we can see that you've added your BPMs and you've got all your tags there, which is good. You've got a search bar there, which is fine. You've got your featured track. I kind of do like the coloring. Again, it's kind of bright and it stands out. You've got your Facebook Messenger there, which is really good. I would suggest maybe changing the color of that to suit your kind of the whole color of the page. Maybe turn it to this kind of rusty orangey color. Yeah, you've got your licenses set up there really well. I like your pricing structure. You've got a very good amount of bulk deals. You've got a lot of information there, which is really good. So take note, guys, on those of you that kind of have missed out on this information. Now, this is a good amount of information that's here. Have your YouTube video there, YouTube account. Yeah, I mean, I really like this. That's cool. I've never seen that before. I kind of like that. Yeah, so I think not too much to say about this page. I think, you know, you've set it up quite well. I would just maybe, you know, have some branding of some sort. I mean, even if it was just a logo up here, you know, just to show that it's actually yourself, you know, Lima on the track, you know. That's just, again, that's just, you know, my personal opinion. You know, as you could see from a lot of the other pages that we've reviewed, you know, you could certainly see that Buffer on the Beat was Buffer on the Beat. You know, going back to my page, the one that we was, you know, showing you the pro page, you can see it was mine, and a few of the others that we've touched on here too. You know, you can see that that's actually them. Yeah, so that's the kind of the reviews done for today on pro pages. Please make sure that you go to that link we've sent. I'll send it to you again, just so you guys know. Oh, let me grab that link for you again. We was a bit late today, getting set up, but hopefully we've given you you've taken away some good information today. Again, bear with me today. It was kind of my first time doing it on my own, so there was a little bit of nerves there, and, you know, just you know, some technical issues that we had initially, but appreciate you guys definitely tuning in. Let me just grab that link again quickly for you guys, just so you can submit your pro pages for review. There you go, guys. So that's the yeah, guys. So that's pretty much today's show. We've got another show coming up in a little while. I think it's at it's at 3 p.m. EST, and that is the 2 seconds. That is the Centre Stage show with Mazzy and Soul, featuring a few live performances. So make sure you go check out that show. Hopefully you've taken away some good information today. Again, I apologize if it was a bit erratic, but hopefully I'll get used to doing this on my own, and I can provide a bit more information. Any questions that you have, or any issues that you have, or feel free again to use the help articles that we have. But you can also always reach out to us at support@beatstars.com. We're always here to try and help you and provide as much information as we can. Yeah, so again, hopefully you guys have enjoyed today's show. Feel free to go back and review this video again. It will be saved on our accounts, so you can go back and if there's any points that you feel like if there's any particular things that you feel like you've learned on and you need to go back and review it, and use some of the tips that we've pointed out today, then make sure you go back and review the video and watch it over again. All of these videos that we're streaming live are being saved, so you can go back and review them all. So I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Stay tuned for the next show that's coming up and all the other shows that we've got going on throughout the week. Yeah, so thanks again for tuning in, and that's about it for today. Appreciate you guys.